Joined here today by Robert King Hales, coming off a big win over Zach Fears at LFA 71. Robert, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for asking. And let's talk about that fight a little bit. Obviously, it's a dominant victory. You get two 30-27s, 129-28. How you look back on your performance in that fight?
I look back at it as a subpar performance. I did pretty good in some. It was a lot of things. Still, when I look back on it, it was a lot of things that I could have worked better on. But it was still a solid performance. I threw a lot of combos. I took down. I stopped the takedown defense pretty good, and then I got a lot of my punches off like I wanted to. I couldn't get them out there like I wanted to, but it's still, like I said, there's a lot of things I need to work on in the gym, and then sooner around my next fight, I'll be able to put away most of my opponents.
We know that you're someone with a lot of knockout power. Every time we watch your fights, you're dropping guys, finishing them, and everything. Were you surprised he was able to take all those punches from you?
I knew he was coming in. He was a tough guy, and so I knew it was just depending on how many I could land more than what shot was going to land. It was just how much pressure I was going to need to apply to his chin before he fell. But I just couldn't get enough pressure to it, and like I said, it's just going to work. It's going to go over to my next fight where I'm going to finish my next opponent.
And what's going through your mind as you're hitting him with those big shots? I mean, I'm sure at some point you're hoping that something's going to buckle his legs or something. I mean, what's going through your mind?
No, as much as he can take, I'm going to keep giving him more. I'm not going to stop until he falls or until the ref pulls me off. So, or until the fight ends. I was hoping he would fall, but like I said, if he doesn't, I'm going to keep going until the fight's over.
And so what does this fight do for you? Is this a good learning experience for yourself? Is this kind of just something that's in the past now? What does that fight kind of do for you, mentally and for your career?
It does. It adds a little momentum to my career. It lets me know that it lets everybody know that I'm still in the game. I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere, and that I'm still a big prospect up in Atlanta, and soon to be more and more. But it also lets me know that that I can compete with anybody and everybody, especially in any promotion. It doesn't matter if it's for a smaller promotion or if it's for a big promotion.
And you mentioned still being there, not going anywhere, still being a top prospect. Do you feel like, just hearing that, do you feel like people have kind of written you off as a prospect or something like that? I mean, what's going on? What do you mean when you make sort of these statements?
When I mean that, I just don't want people to feel like I'm ever going anywhere just because of my record. I have taken a couple of losses, but I just don't want people to feel like that I'm going to become a journeyman or a person that just takes fights. I want people to know that I'm taking the right fights, and I'm taking them the right time.
And let's talk about your status at LFA a little bit. Are you still under contract with them? Was this a one-fight deal? What kind of sort of deal was that with LFA?
It was just a one-fight contract.
And was this something where they told you that you might come back for them in the future? Or was it just kind of one and done, and then we'll just see what's next for you?
It was just more like we're just going to see what's next. I haven't really heard anything yet, but hopefully I hear something soon from my manager.
And what are you hoping is next at this point? Are you looking past LFA? Are you thinking maybe Bellator, maybe a return to PFL? Of course, UFC Contender Series was just yesterday. I mean, what's kind of on your mind? What you're hoping for is next?
Whatever comes. I'm not rushing too fast for the Bellator call or UFC call right now. But if it comes, it comes. But it's right now. It's just to continue to push forward. And to keep winning. That's the biggest thing that people really want to see is you to win.
And I want to talk about one of your past fights against Nicholas Motta. Obviously, it was a crazy one. Both of you got dropped at the same time, and I actually talked to him yesterday, and he was talking about that fight. And he was like, "Man, we got dropped at the same time. It was crazy." What's going through your mind as you're going through a war like that, and kind of getting dropped at the same time and all that stuff?
What went through my mind was like, why am I on the floor? And then I got back up immediately, and it started. I had to make sure I had to keep my composure. I had to make sure I was standing straight, or I had to make sure that, that I had to bring the heart out. So
And I know you did fight one time with PFL, and it's kind of weird they did their tournament format. You know, people fight for them multiple times. What happened with you in PFL? I mean, how did that come together, and why haven't we seen you back out there?
Just haven't got the call yet. I don't really know too much about um the like the whole outside stuff with with my manager and stuff. But I'm just he lets me know when they'll call, and I just wait. Right now I'm just waiting. So.
And after that fight with LFA, what was the reaction from everyone? I'm sure you got on social media. Maybe you've heard from other promoters. What was people's reaction? Were they get a lot of positive feedback from that victory?
Oh yeah, most definitely had a lot of feedback. A lot of people, mostly knew that I was capable of what I performed, and of course, I got a lot of support from my friends and from my family.
And do you feel like you're building a bigger fan base, getting with LFA, PFL, those promotions that do have a lot more eyeballs and maybe some other things on the regional scene?
Yes, most definitely. It's a wider base to show my skills, so everybody can see it, not just my friends and family. The whole world can see.
And so what's the plan at this point for your career? I know you've been kind of on the regional scene. You've kind of flirted with getting on the big shows. What's next for you at this point? I mean, what can you do to sort of further your career and get to that next level?
Right now, it's just to keep winning, add more wins, and win in great fashion. No more. I feel like I can't win no more by decision. If I do, I feel like it's a setback, but I feel like I need to win by devastating fashion. Great way. I need to dominate these guys. To compete with the guys up in the ladder like Devontae Kincaid, Joseph Selecki, JSP, and Conor Worthy, and all them other guys.
I know we know that fans they sometimes like to keep track of the regional fighters, maybe tune into shows. Why should guys tune into you and watch you fight? I mean, what's the thing that's going to set you apart?
Man, what sets me apart from everybody else is because I'm soon going to be the greatest to ever do this, and I'm going to be the greatest showman. I will be the greatest. I will be the one to step forward. I will be the one to set the standard. Just as soon as I get in the UFC, once I get that opportunity, and once I get that chance, and once my foot's right there in the door, it's over with, basically. King Hale era.
Obviously, it's a great mindset to have. Is that something you've had your whole career? Or is that something you've kind of had to build up over time?
My whole career. Hands down.
And so
the same mindset.
And let's talk about your career a little bit. For people that don't know, how did you sort of get into MMA?
I got into MMA when one day at a college, I asked the coach if I could walk on playing football. It didn't work out. Kind of just was working. Was watching Ultimate Fighter with John Jones and Chael Sonnen as the head coach. I forget which number, but Clint Hester popped out. They said he was fighting out of Marietta, X3 Sports in Atlanta, Georgia. My dad kind of nudged me and was like, you should try to do that, But it was more like he was joking around. And I kind of took it as that, and I didn't even take it serious until like maybe a week or two after, and then I joined X3, and from there, after that, it's a go.
And it's kind of odd to hear about guys getting into fighting. Had you ever been in a fight before? Had you ever flirted with the fight game before? Or is this just kind of something totally new once you set foot in the gym?
No, I just got into maybe 2 fights, maybe 3 as a kid, growing up. So I mean, I always knew I had the potential of at least defending myself. So when I got in the gym, it kind of all came together. And being an athlete, I kind of adapted the skills a little quicker than most. And then from there, I kind of adapted my own style.
And did you feel your mentality change once you started to learn how to fight and all these techniques? I mean, I assume the confidence must have went up, and I just seen people on the street and you think, I could beat his ass because, I know how to fight now.
I really don't pay nobody no mind. When I used to feel like that when I was younger, but then as I grew more into the sport, everything really I just stay to myself and don't really bother anybody.
For sure. How do you feel physically coming off this last fight? Do you have any injuries, anything like that, or are you 100% ready to go?
No, I'm 100% ready to go. I'm ready to go right now.
And ideally, when would you like to return to the cage?
Around late September, early October, late October.
All right, and I just have one more for you. Ideally, let's say your manager comes to you and asks you your dream scenario. Who would you like to fight next, and where would you like that fight to take place?
Who would I like to fight next? I guess yes. Whoever gets us closer to the UFC. I feel like the person who's right there, who can nudge me closer, where everybody can be like, oh, okay, now it's time for that guy to get it back, get on. Let's see what this guy can do. Contender series or late notice call.
All right, well, we're looking to see what's next for you, man. It's going to be exciting. Congratulations on your victory in your past fight, man. That was awesome.
Thank you.